Yes, ma'am, we are live now. For saying this video is private. Mappy, let me know if you can see it on YouTube. Wow. I don't think this setup is working.
Julia, are we good to go?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you can start then, but you can remove I think because on YouTube it looks like you're spotlighting. So it looks good on YouTube at the moment. But I think you could take off the spotlight so that it's you that is
Let me just know if you
speaking.
can see here. Kindly unmute yourself. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me know if you can see or hear me.
Yes.
Yes. I can hear you, but also I can see.
Welcome.
Yes.
All right. I can hear it. I couldn't hear it first earlier. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Today is Purple Day, so I feel like those that understand the assignment, maybe Esther Holiday, because her background is purple. Like, do you know what's happening today? Do you know what's happening today? Why are you silent?
Not really.
What's
Can
happening
you hear
today?
me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. What was the question? Sorry.
So do you know what's happening today?
Yes, of course.
What's happening today?
Like, is it as regards to this question or just generally?
Well, as regards to everything. Like this Saturday is the best Saturday. So what's
Okay,
happening
yeah,
today?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we had the premiere of our documentary today.
You said?
I said we had the premiere of our documentary today on YouTube.
Yay! That's how they say it. Like it comes with energy. Like we had the premiere of the first documentary, first of its kind, right? It was, well, if you were there, please let me know how it was for you. How was it for you?
I joined in and I was really enjoying it because I got to see the other 25 under 25 amazing women talking about their story. So yes, I enjoyed it.
You were on the documentary, Modupe.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Who wasn't? Who wasn't? I know Gloria was there. Esther was there. Um Please pardon my shaky camera. So Gloria was there, Esther was there. Um Special day. Yesterday was really, the room was hot, but network was like no. But today we say yes. So I'm correct. Abiola was not there. Agnes was not there as well. Okay. All right. It's good to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this is very important to us that you are here to have this conversation. These are conversations that should be had. We don't talk too much about um, what women are doing. All right, we talk about we are beginning to talk about what women are doing, but now the Future for All Female movement is taking it a step further to talk about not just any woman, but what young women are doing, right? So that's why we are having this conversation today, and we are in high spirits today because today is not just like any other day. Today is or was the premiering of the documentary, right? And we are super duper excited. If you can't tell, I mean, look at me now. See how I'm beaming from here to there. Come on. Yeah, I can't but beam because something big happened today. And this should draw our attention to the work that the Future for All Female is doing, the Future for All Female movement is doing, and what we are about, right? So I think that today is the best day for us to actually really spotlight what the Future Forward Female Movement is about. It's not just because we are trying to be fancy and so we're like, let's do documentary. Like it was not like no. We are more about a certain vision, right? And
recording in progress.
We are a global conscious collective for the advancement of visionary women of Africa who transform the world. This is something that is almost like an anthem right now. We are about African women, visionary African women who are transforming the world through the power of a compelling vision, legacy, leadership, and collaboration. These are like three parts of what we really stand for: a compelling vision, legacy, leadership, and collaboration. So when you look at the work that we are doing, we are all about that, right? And how we are doing this, we are using a three-part method, right? That we call, it's 3 C's: catalyze, connect, and celebrate. So we are catalyzing through our sessions like the Future for Female Mastermind, right? We are doing that, and we are also having sessions. We are doing we are about connections, right? And that with the events that we do, we are pro collaboration. You can see that in when we spoke about what the Future for All Female is about, Future for All Female movement is about, right? So we have that. But what the base and the foundation of the whole of this, right, is the third part of our part, and that is the celebrate part, right? We are big on celebrating African women, right? And that is why, or that is where the 25 under 25 awards came from. So we are in this room today because of the 25 under 25 awards. And even the documentary is birthed from the 25 under 25 awards, from young women like you, right? You are recipients of the award. And that's a big deal. I mean, take a minute and feel yourself. That's a big deal. It's a big deal, right? So we did the awards, right? We had the awards celebrating 25 young women between the ages of 16 to 24. I mean, we had Gloria. It's just that she's meant to be here, but I'm not sure where she is right now. So Gloria 22 years. I think there's someone even younger than Gloria. I think it was Simisola Sonmi or Similoluwa Sonmi. Anyway,
Yeah.
she's younger than Gloria. I think she's 20, right? This is something that we were able to put together, right? Spotlighting these young women between the ages of 16 to 24. But they're not just young women that we just brought together. Oh, you're young and come around. 25 young women that are doing extraordinary things in Africa. They are breaking barriers. They are leading boldly. They are creating change, and they are transforming their society for good, right? So that is where we got the leading boldly from, because that's what we're about, right? So it's really nice to meet you ladies today, to have a conversation on leading boldly. Let's talk about it, really. Let's talk about it, because we can throw out the word and just be like leading boldly. But I mean, what is it about? What's leading boldly? Why are we screaming leading boldly? Why is there a conversation around it? Why do we even have more than a conversation, but even a whole 1 hour documentary on leading boldly? What should people know? What should young African women know about leading boldly? So this is the purpose of this conversation today, and I cannot wait to be on fire again like yesterday, right? So I think I would like to start with Precious, because she's beaming with smile and she's just looking at me like she's just looking at me like yes, I'm here to give you fire. So yes, Precious, please, I know that I've met you, but I just want you to say something, like one sentence that people need to know about you. What's something that people need to know about you as a young African woman, and a young African woman leading boldly? What's something people need to know? Just something short that people need to know.
Okay, I'll say there are various expressions of Precious Babs, and they should watch out. They've not seen enough yet. This is where we begin. So, yeah.
Okay. What's that one expression of yourself that you think that when people meet you, they are like, she's a leader. I know that you are leading. Leadership is first self-leadership, right? So it's not really about the position that you occupy. But I would really like to know what is something that when people meet you first, they can quickly hold on to it and say that no, this is why I think that this lady is a leader. So it may not necessarily be a work that you do, but just something about yourself, an expression of yourself.
So I'll say my smile. Yeah, my smile is one thing that draws people to me first. Then also being able to collaborate with people, like to partner with anybody and work effectively, like irrespective of how difficult the person is. Yeah, I think They know how
Hmm.
to still work with people.
What's the
Yeah.
pro tip with that? What's the pro tip with that? Because now it's very needed. What's the pro tip with that?
Have patience, like have more than enough of it, and draw from the well of God for more patience, because you might think you have it, but you work with some people and you'll be like, God, please help me not to make me. So yeah, patience and drawing from God, basically.
That's nice. That's very good to know. All right. That's actually very interesting. Um Abiola, hello. You look good.
Yeah.
You're also the second person smiling like precious. You're like, I don't think you have you released your face since you came on this call? You've been smiling since. Wow.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm very, very
That-
excited. I think that the ladies that are on here are people that I personally have actually come across their work over the years and whatnot. So it was quite interesting to have all of us in the same room, get to meet people, have conversations. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
That's good to know. So today is no news that we had um the premiering of the documentary, right? It's no longer news, and I won't stop saying it. So if you like, be saying in your mind that is okay, we've heard. No, you've not heard. No, you've not heard. Okay, so yes, it's not news that you we premiered the documentary today, right? But I would like to know, right, with your work at Elevate Development Foundation.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to know, like, what because you were not on that documentary. So, what was an inspiration? What has been an inspiration for you for your work at your foundation, right? What has been your inspiration? And I would also like to know the obstacles that you faced in pushing through to ensure that the vision that you have for the foundation is going through.
All right. So my inspiration, I would say for sure it has been God. I started without any intention to actually launch a charity. I started because I wanted to obey God. I remember at the time I was 16, I came across a YouTube video about a slum community in Lagos called Makoko. And I was just so driven with passion. I remember calling my dad that day. I think I have to go to this community. I called my mom. I think I have to go to this community. And for some strange reason, they actually said, you know what, let's do it. And a couple of months after, because I was actually in school, I got back, went with my mom to the community, and then I told the ballet, I said, I don't know why God sent me here, and I think He wants me to do something. And so I just kept on following every prompting I had in my spirit. I remember gather money, I would save up my pocket money, boggle aunties and uncles, give me whatever you have. We would buy rice. It was not meant to be a charity, by the way. So we would just buy rice and distribute. And then I realized it started getting serious when a 30-year-old, at the time I was 16, and the 30-year-old wanted to volunteer. And I was like, oh my days, people are starting to show up. I think I need to develop a team. And it's been growing ever since then. It's become an actual organization. We have team members across the UK, Nigeria, different states in Nigeria as well. And it's been a blessing. It's been 7 years since then. 7,000 people have been impacted and counting. And we're still following God's lead until now, really and truly. And then in terms of
Wow.
obstacles, yes. Yes. So in terms of obstacles, I think first thing I would say I really struggled with was managing school, finding myself, and then leading a team, particularly leading a team in a community where people were, needed emergency assistance and needed a lot of funding. And I'm like, oh my days, what's going on? I did not sign up for this. I was just very passionate about wanting to make a change. And then now at like 2 a.m., I'm getting calls. I'm like, God, what do I do? What do I do? I was at a very pivotal point. And actually, at the time, I had only just gotten saved. I had only just received the life of Christ. So there was that part of trying to discover my new life in Christ as well. So yeah, that really pushed me. It pushed me to develop faster, pushed me to discover and become more confident in my purpose much faster. I think it also gave me a very solid sense of focus and direction in life as well. I think perhaps maybe Another obstacle that we faced, I have personally faced as well, is learning how to manage and lead a team. Because again, I did not have volunteering experience prior to then. I was literally only just finding myself and then having to lead people. So learning how to work with you, different personalities, like Precious rightly said, learning how to bring the best out of my team as well, how to balance their responsibilities, having team members across different parts of the world, trying to live virtually. So yeah, those two things I would say were two of our major obstacles that we've had to go through.
Well, I would actually come back. I'll come back to that because you need to spill all the tea that is in that, right? Let us know how you are building a team, right? But I want you to speak to legacy leadership, right?
Mm.
Not where I see that in your journey is in how your parents, right, were quick to really, work with you on your vision, right?
Yeah.
Not many people have access to that. What do you have to say about legacy leadership, positioning yourself to be mentored, and not more than that, right? Because you also spoke about how even a 13-year-old started met you, right, as a 16-year-old, for you to work with you, right? So now you're beginning to pass the baton someone did for you, and you're doing that for someone else. So speak to that, please.
Yes, 100%. I think my parents are amazing, my dad and my mom. From a very young age, literally, we would get massive responsibilities. So, side note is, I currently work as an accountant with my family's accounting firm. And from as young as like 14, 15, whenever we would be back home, my dad would be like, oh yeah, Yola, bring your laptop, open your Excel, start working on this document, start working on that. And he would give me solid responsibilities. I would have to work with actual colleagues, at work that were getting paid. And so I think from a young age, we learned how to manage, at least I learned how to manage responsibilities. And so even the idea of me starting a charity, wanting to do something audacious, was not scary for them. And the way I was raised as well, my parents allowed me to explore different expressions of my being. So be that public speaking, be that music as well. So that audacity really was stirred up in me from the very beginning. And then in terms of positioning myself for mentorship as well, I think it's a value exchange really, and also understanding that you're not entitled to someone's attention. You're not actually entitled to the wisdom that you're seeking for. You have to find how you can pour into the person that you're looking out for. Have you even studied the things that they've released, the materials they've released? And also, are they aligned with your vision? Because I find today many young people want to get someone as their mentor just because the person has a big name and they're like, oh my days, how nice would it be for this person to be my mentor? But really, are they aligned with where God is trying to take you? What exactly has God said you have to learn from this person? Because for me, I remember 2020, I think I came across the African Masterclass series program. And the very first episode, I was just 6 minutes in, and it just struck my spirit. I knew that I had to learn from DDK at that time. I remember I even sent her a long, I sent her a long message at the time. That very day, I was like, "Ma, I think um, God is trying to use your message to really pinpoint me towards certain parts of my assignment." And I told God, I said, God, how nice would it be to learn from DDK? I got involved in the Immerse Master Coaching. I remember, I think it was the Sprouts Woman program at the time. And then 2021 came, I saw the portfolio and I was like, oh my days, I'm reading so many stories about women that, are doing things that are already doing things that I have gotten a glimpse of, concerning my future. And then I told God again, how nice would it be for um, Coach Tolu Michaels to become someone I can learn from. And then 2023 came, and then she became my one of my pastors in my church here in Abuja. I was like, oh my days, look at God. And I quickly just went to meet her. So I think God has really blessed me, surrounding me with, I call them pictures of possibilities of the places that He's taking me to.
That is actually very profound. I would like to hear Gloria's point of view on what you've just spoken to, right? Because of the work that she's doing at GEDA. Do you pronounce it GEDA or GEDA?
Gerda.
Oh, okay, get her right. So she's doing a profound work, as even she's sitting in the position of. Both of you were awarded the visionary leader for the visionary leader category, right? So I think that is why there is almost like a sync in the things that you're doing, right? So Gloria, I would like you to speak to what she's even talking about right now. There is a certain challenge that young people tend to face, and that was one of the things that the documentary also spoke to, which is, you're too young, you feel like you're too young to do certain things. What is that? Is that a fact? Is that a fact? And what are the limitations that come with your age? Because we are talking about legacy leadership here, and this is a big part of the what we do at the Future Forward Female Movement, right? So we we preach legacy leadership, and we say that you ladies are embodying what we preach, right? So if you ladies are embodying what we preach, it means that at some level you are already exhibiting and working, towards legacy leadership. How are you doing that with Gerda? And has there been any limitation? I mean, you're working with young people that are your age, even maybe some people older than yourself, right? How are you doing that with Gerda? Hello, Gloria. Can you hear me? Gloria, can you hear me? Okay. Let's have you, Esther. Please just quickly speak to that, because I know that you also worked in you worked as a president and you've led people.
All
So
right.
that is it's very important to.
I trust I'm holding. Thank you so much for bringing me on board.
Hello, Esther. Can we please, Esther, unmute yourself and let us hear you speak to.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I
Can you
think
hear me?
Gloria is actually trying to speak at the moment, so I don't know.
No, just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, can you I feel like you said a lot of things. So
Oh, okay. So
I really
what I
want to
said is I want you to speak to legacy leadership. Abiola was speaking about how she's been, she's enjoyed and benefited from the whole concept of legacy leadership, right? Because of her parents, they believed in her vision, they helped her to set it up and all of that great stuff. I went ahead to point out that we are about legacy leadership, and we believe that the 25 under 25 awardees are also people carriers of legacy leadership. So, in your work as a president at Rotaract Club at Medlag, how have you been able to stand in the position of a leader, right? But even a legacy leader, right? And you've been able to like groom people to also, pass the baton. So how have you been able to do that? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, being a president, actually talking, well, before that time, actually, it was something that started as volunteering and working with the club as a fresher then when I got into the school, when I got into next school. And I had to learn firsthand how to deal with people, even way before becoming president, because I had to learn firsthand, dealing with people, being project lead for the tenure then, right? So I had to learn all of this and working with people and all of those, right? So coming down to me being president, right? It was, working with people was something that was not new to me because I've been doing it before then. But it was sort of challenging because I had to now, the responsibility was now on me. I was not directly working with them, but at least I was learning. But being president, it was like, oh, this responsibility is now on me to, lead people. I have direct communication with people, having to motivate people and
all of that, right? So one thing that really stood out for me was the fact that I was able to start a lot of things, right? That really motivated a lot of people. People saw my leadership style and they were really motivated. I was this kind of person that encourages people a lot, and trying to tell you that okay, you can actually balance med school with being a volunteer, and that inspired a lot of people because seeing people, students in school seeing me the way I was able to lead project and I'm also excelling in my academics made them want to like, okay, I want to do more. I want to be able to join this club. If this person can be doing this and also excelling in academics, right? I want to be able to also join this club and become a part of what we are doing. They are leading projects, blessing lives, doing all of this amazing stuff. And it has never been heard that they failed any course in school or something. So it was something that actually brought in people. And over time, people were much more interested because before then in the club, students find it hard to take up leadership roles. They're always like, oh, they're always like pushing it around, I don't want to do this. I'm in my final year, I don't want to be the one to do this, I don't want to be the one to become president. And I also had that challenge, that similar issue because I was almost entering my final year at the time and I was like, I really do not want to do this. I want to focus on school and all that. But having to be able to balance that school aspect and also that volunteering aspect really motivated a lot of people. And when I was leading, a lot of new members that joined indicated interest that they were going to take up leadership roles. And seeing the way I've been able to lead, the current tenure now, they are leading extremely well. They are doing so well. And when people talk in school, they be like, Esther motivated me to do this. I watched that this, and now I can do this. In fact, I moved into school last week, and somebody came to my room. She was like, because you believe in me to be able to lead a particular project during your tenure, now I'm also leading something bigger than this, just because we're able to take that chance on me. So,
Wow.
I've been able to build that legacy such that people, even till now, people still want to join the club. And not just joining the club alone, they want to take up leadership roles because they've been able to see me, see what I'm doing, see how I'm excelling in school, excelling in every other aspect. And really, they want to do more. They want to really do more. So I think I've
You
been
know,
able
you know,
to, in a way,
yeah,
I'm
I think
listening.
what I'm hearing you say is that the whole concept of legacy leadership is not is not you trying to be I want to be a mentor and packaging and all of that is more than packaging. It's actually coming from a place of experience. So you are joining the club, and which is something you actually spoke to when you in the documentary.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, in the documentary. That is
Yeah.
what that is what you spoke to in the documentary as well. I remember you said something around how when you initially joined Medilag, you were not about it at first, right? You were also skeptical about
Yeah.
joining the club. And even when you were about to be made, I think, vice president initially, right? You
Yes, that's
were
president. Yeah.
also still skeptical about it, right? But you stepped into the position, you learned everything that you needed to learn. You quickly learned how to be able to balance being a leader, or rather occupying a leadership position, and um, being a student as well, an excellent
Yes,
student. And where legacy leadership comes in that is that you documented your journey and you passed it down. So what you had learned in your
yeah.
personal journey, you carried it, and you handed it
Mm.
down to people that were coming. So whenever you found someone that was in the position where you were, you quickly let them know, say, come, I was there too. And this is what you need to do. I did this, did
Yeah.
this, did this, did this.
Um,
And you gave that
mm,
prototype to them. Wow, that's actually
mm,
very interesting. Thank you so much,
mm. Thank
Esther.
you. Thank you.
Really nice to know that. Um, Agnes, I'm speaking to you for the first time. I feel like I'm in presence of a celebrity. Hello. I see the work that you're doing. I mean, you're really doing something really exceptional, and I want to know. I think what I want to know about is what is your inspiration? what makes you do what you're doing? Why?
Okay. Thank you, Ma. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hi.
I'm super excited to see our faces. Okay, I have a lot of story around that, but one of the things that inspires me is seeing me get results. There's this joy that comes with winning when you set a goal, I want to do this, and you do it. So every time I set a goal, I feel I can do it again. And for me to channel my my how do I say it, my goal to persons with disability and children, that was because I studied. It all started when I was in college of education. I studied special education, then back in the college of education, which wasn't my will actually, it was my mom's will. I didn't get admission into the university, and she said, okay, you cannot stay at home. You've spent 1 year already, so I had to go to the college of education. And after my first year, she asked me to take jump and go to the university. I said I must finish it because I am enjoying what I'm studying. How I have to communicate with people that cannot hear, how I can bridge the gap between persons with disability and the so-called normal. So it excites me so much doing that. So I decided, okay, let me continue. Right now, I am doing my degree in the University of Jos, and that's a long distance from where my family house is, all because I wanted to study special education. So one of the things that inspires me is seeing myself set a goal for persons with disability, not just that, for children and teenagers, and seeing it come true. I want to do it again. This joy of winning, apart from having mentors around, having inspiration from God, ideas from God. One of
Yeah.
the things keeping me is winning. I love the joy behind winning, honestly. I must say, I must be sincere here. The joy that comes with you winning at all time. I might not be able to express it with words, but I think that's one of my major inspiration. I love setting a goal and seeing it come true and having to have
So
a lot of
so
people around.
let me hear you, right? Agnes, let me hear you. You are doing work, great work. I think you said you've reached 7,000, up to 7,000 people in it. Correct me.
No,
7,000.
up to 1,000, over 1,000 teenagers and 200 persons with disability.
Great. Why do you do what you do? Why is it important? What is something that
Okay,
people need to know? Because that number is a very large number. I need to know what is pushing you. I need to know why you are going on that path, right? Why you would rather not be doing something else, right?
okay.
Because
Yes,
people,
I got the
all right,
I don't
all
know,
right.
like Murdoch or John. I can't remember the book I read it from that says that it's CDJ. So he said that
TJ.
the area where you hurt is the most time a pointer to your ministry. So one of the things that helped me to have children and teenagers, because growing up, I was victim and almost severally victim of molestation. So my foundation started on that. So I remember when I was in 200 level university, and one day I sat down, I was just so sad. So me trying to dictate why I was sad. So I realized that there are lots of children and teenagers around me I'm so concerned about. So I thought about it. Okay, what can I do? How can I come in? So I started with campaign against molestation and how it could be handled. And it's so funny to see how much of children out there being molested. And one of the things that shocked me and pushed me during the period was that I saw a lot of boys that were being molested too. I was so shocked. I thought it was only girls that were molested. So I was like, so this is really happening. It means that if I can get up to 10 children in this school, permit me, let me use the word teenager, in this school that were being molested, it means that all other schools, there are other victims of molestation. And that was how we started the campaign. My molestation was in secondary school. So I went to a boarding school where we have other teachers. Every time I always have this escape, but my friends don't, and I can't help. We can't speak out. We are ashamed. So the only way I could help was when I grew and I understand how it could be handled, what you can do, and that was how I started. And seeing that vision come true helps me, and my project in Precious Foundation has really helped me to be part of other projects, and which now also extend to persons with disabilities. I studied special education. I didn't know I was going to reach out to them. I was just so excited, but having to see they reach out to children with children and teenagers come through. So I thought, okay, let me extend this to a person with disability. And I've done a lot to them. I remember the first project we had with them was at the University Hostel, University of Jos, where we talk about health issues. You go to persons with disabilities hostel in the university, you see how smelly it is, and a lot of people just ignore because they felt, okay, this particular set of people have visually impaired, they are disabled, they can't do so much. But some of them were not just lectured growing up. Some of them didn't just have privilege of somebody talking to them about what they can do, how much of potential they have, even with their impairment. So those are just
Yeah.
my inspiration, and I love when I see a problem, I love to provide a solution to it. It has always been my desire. There's this particular code that I say a lot: when you see it, you solve it. So when I spot any problem, I
Mm,
solve. So I always
you
want
solve it. So when you see it, I think it's going to be like a big take home for us. When you see it, you solve it. Nice. Thank you so much. Um, one thing that I'm taking out from what you're saying, which is going to lead me into speaking to Modupe, right? I want to hear more about what people need to know, because Agnes is talking about the ignorance that people have when it comes to people with disability. She even spoke about how even when she first of all got into that field, she was shocked at the number of people who are molested, like boys who are molested, right? So there seems to be like a lot of gap between what people know and what they don't know, right? And that gap is also reflecting on the amount of work that is actually being done in those places. Even yesterday, we had a conversation with one of the Queen of Enterprises, and she spoke about how she went for an international business conference and found that there were not many people in Africa that were actually producing perfumes and the kind of things that she produces, right? And she decided that she wants to teach more people about it. So this is something that I want you to talk about. What is that thing that you see that African women need to start working on? Young African women, that are trying to be leaders, or that look at you today and they're like, oh, they want to be like you. They want to also be an embodiment of the future forward female prototype, right? What do you think that they need to stop sidelining? What are the things that you think young African women need to stop sidelining, and they need to start to open their eyes to see that is happening from your perspective?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. For me, I think the message I would say is this. I came across this line recently, was during the course of this week when I attended the conference, and it stuck with me, and I think that's what I want to share. It is that you are created to disrupt the system. As an African woman, the truth is you come into the world and you're told you have to do this, you have to do that, go to school, you come out, get a job, get married, have children, and it sounds really nice. But it's important that as an African woman, you reflect on your life, you reflect on what you want to do. Now, this is something I want to also add, which is from what some people have said earlier, which is seeing the gap. When it comes to wanting to do something, you need to first of all identify the problem. What is it that is going on in your community? Because you don't have to look so far. The truth is, there are things happening. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. There are things happening around us, and we need to see what is the problem. As an African woman, you need to reflect. You need to find out what you like to do. Do you like to talk? Do you like to write? Do you like to draw? Do you like to have communication with people? Do you like to go out? What is it that you like to do? I think that's where we should start from. Having friends over the years, what I get asked often is, I don't know what to do. A lot of people are confused, a lot of people are lost. And I think it's because we're not necessarily asking ourselves the right questions. The right questions we need to ask ourselves is sitting down and asking, where do I see myself? Who do I want to become? You could even ask yourself, is there anything? The truth is, there are some clues in the steps we have taken in the previous years that you might not realize unless you look back at it. What have you done in the past 1 year? What have you done in the past few years? So, this is what I really want to say. We don't talk enough about reflecting. We don't talk enough about answering deep questions. We just want to do, do, do. And a lot of times you can do things and not feel fulfilled. So I would say to every African woman out there, find out what makes you fulfilled. Find out which problem you want to solve in the community. Find out which woman you want to become. Don't conform. Don't do what every other person is doing. Find out what you can do best. And that's what I'll say to the African woman listening to me
So
right now.
if I hear you, because you've said a lot of things at once. First of all, you are like, you want more, you would rather that more African women are engaging in self-mastery, right? They're engaging in self-leadership, right? Get to know yourself, be your best friend, know yourself, go on a journey of mastering who you are as a person,
Yeah.
because that would influence how the perspective that you see the world, right? So you're saying that
Yeah.
that gap that we are speaking to right now is because, first of all, many people are not sitting in a position of self-mastery, and that is why they cannot be able to see problems and see how they can be able to sit in those positions of
Yeah.
sit in those positions as solution providers, right? That's extremely profound. What do you have to add to that question, Adibi? I would really love to hear what you have to say.
All right. Okay. Okay. Was that question for me? What I'd like
Yes.
to add to it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So, what African women should be focused on? I think it's honestly in the same line. Find out your purpose. Literally, I personally believe that purpose were created to, number one, know our creator, know God, and also to make him known. And you find your unique expression in that. I'll give an example. I stumbled on Elevate. I literally was asking God for a long time, God, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And then the first thing I heard in my spirit was, I wanted to help people. And then I kid you not, anywhere I see people like that needed help, I'll just help them. If you want to cross the road and you're carrying something heavy, I'll run to you. And I'll just carry it for
Just
you.
just
Uh,
like what's her name again? What she said, that if you see Agnes, what she said, if you see it, you solve it.
Solve it 100%. I actually noted that in my mind. That's very profound. Yes, so it was in obeying those small instructions that by the time the instruction to start Elevate came, I was like, of course. I mean, I've been practicing by obeying seemingly small instructions like, oh, help this person with their math assignment, explain this to them, explain that. And so, yes, I stumbled into Elevate. And even at that, I even my current one of my latest assignments now is to mentor teenagers, to start a mentoring company for teenagers. And I would have never known if I never obeyed God to become a teens teacher in my church. It was in that I got confirmation that I was to do this, and then the passion for it came. So if you're going to discover who you are, so that whole process of self mastery, it's worth it to do it alongside the one who created you, right? Purpose is not something that we
Mm,
create; it's something we discover. It's something that we receive, and that
mm.
would eventually discovering the God that made you would help you chart the path for your future. And
So
then
that is sounding like divine leading alongside this self-mastery has to work hand in hand with divine leading. Um, Precious, I want to hear you speak to how have you been able to nurture your leadership, yourself as a leader, right? Because you've told us that your smile, right, and your ability to be able to pull together people in a team has made people to really spotlight you and say that, okay, there's something about this young lady, right? I want you to speak to how have you been able to nurture those
Right.
skills and nurture yourself as a young African woman. Please speak to this, because there will be someone out there that wants to be just like you, right? So how has that journey been, and what can they pick out from it?
Okay, so for me, I'll say it started with volunteering. So that was one thing I knew how to do best, was to help out. Like she said, once you see a problem, you solve it. So for me, it basically started from volunteering for events, attending events, and saying, "Oh no, I'm not just sit and come and learn. I'm also going to be a part of this in any way I can contribute." So volunteering was it for me. Then one thing also is I'm very conscious to learn. I don't know why, but one thing is there's always this consciousness of, oh precious, what new thing have you learned in the past 1 week, in the past 1 year, in the past 3 months? Like there's this consciousness to learn and upskill from time to time. So it just makes me, I have a very curious mindset. So you see me watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading books, signing up for classes, even on random things such as like fashion or how to dress and everything, just because I want to learn. And another thing is mentorship. Like I said in the video, people need to submit themselves to mentorship very early in life. And it's not necessarily that you need to have a mentor that you can hold on to or speak one-on-one. Sometimes you can you can enjoy mentorship just by watching some people's videos, listening to what they say, reading their books and the like. So there are various forms of mentorship. That's what I mean. So it's not necessary that you might not have access to one of these mentors, although I think there's also a place of having a mentor that you are accountable to and you can also reach out to. But then there's also indirect mentorship. You can learn from people that have done great things, see how they like listen to their stories. I know that everybody has done a great thing. There's always a part of their story you can read about to know how they got there. So just seeing that there are pictures of possibilities that you can tailor your life around, then that's it for me. Then ultimately good actually. So like I said, I was not so sure of what I wanted to do. I just knew what I didn't want to do. But knowing that at every stage of my life and every season, I would always commit it to God that, God, I need you on this decision I want to make. I need you to guide me and order my steps. And I've seen him do it. You know, I might not get the whole clear picture at once. And that's one thing with God. He will not give you the whole full picture because he wants you to rely on him. But just knowing that you can hold God by the, and I mean, God can hold you, and you can also hold God by his hand and he will direct your path and honor and give you the right path to go. So yeah, that's it for me basically. Volunteering, mentorship, consciousness to learn, and God.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Precious. Let me use this moment to actually get Gloria's opinion on what she just spoke to, because initially she had a network issue. So Gloria, please let us hear you. How have you been able to work on yourself as a female leader, as a young female leader? Because you're doing a great work at Gether, right? And that work is you are standing even in a position as a mentor to many people. So let me hear you, right? How are you sitting in that position, and how have you been able to stay in that position? How have you been able to groom yourself in that position?
All right, good evening. Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much for that question. How am I able to sit at a position whereby I lead Gether? So I'll first of all start by saying whatever we do, it begins with a burden. And I believe that is where visionary leadership makes more sense, because for you to envision certain things, it must come from a burden. For instance, even if you're very good with reading all the old books on visionary leader, legacy leader, legacy leaders actually start from visionary leader. You must be able to see before you can leave a legacy behind. So even if you have read all those things, if the source is not from your personal body, you can just be a wisher. And that is where many people fall in. They begin to wish, they begin to see a lot of things without really taking action. For instance, my speakers right here, many of them are doing different things. If I decide that, let me take on the burden of this particular person, no matter how good I am in envisioning, I won't be able to sustain what I'm trying to collect because it's not part of me. It is not my own body. So what Geda actually started with the burden because the body came out from a story. Everyone has a personal story, and this is where we can find the burden in it. So it started from me wanting to, and me being able to different things. I really did not even picture it. What I picture was I wanted to, handle this body. I wanted to solve this area of my life. I wanted to share this part of me. And that is where that's where Gida came from. And from Gida, everything began to unravel itself. So that is where I would say from the burden I had years back.
Okay. So one of the things that I'm hearing you say is that there is a big part when we speak to visionary women, right? There is a difference between those who are trying to do something for profit and those who are trying to be visionary, who are actually visionaries, right? So you are saying right now that we are going to draw a line. If you're in the profit-making business, right? Don't try to sit in the position of a visionary, right, and take up another person's vision. But if you decide that you're going to shift from being just about profit to seeing the picture of the future and actually taking steps to changing that, then you're saying that it has to be something that comes from you, something that comes from within you. And that's a big part of self-mastery that we've been speaking to as well. I keep hearing the same thing over and over again when I speak to you young ladies. Even yesterday as well, we stood strongly on self-mastery, and today we've been able to bring that together with visionary leadership and legacy leadership, right? That is just so profound. I think if we sit down here for the rest of today, we will have like a really nice chat and we will not get tired. We'll be here, right? So but again, before we go, something happened today that I cannot but talk about it again. Like I already said, don't be tired. Are you tired? Don't be tired. I'm not even speaking to you. I'm speaking to those who are listening to this, watching this video right now. Don't be tired, right? Of course, something happened today, so we can't go like that now. I want to hear from every one of you right now, right? First of all, I would like to ask, were you all able to watch the video already? So did you partake in the premiere? Were you part of the first people to watch the premiere? Let me know if you watched it. Did you, Esther?
Yeah.
Esther, why you not? I don't see any movement. Have you watched the documentary? Yes or no?
Yes. I wasn't part of the
Okay. You should watch the documentary. Modupe, have you watched the documentary?
Yes, I watched some parts of it. Yes.
Okay. Some parts. Okay.
I joined. Yeah.
Okay, you joined late.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Precious, have you watched the documentary?
Yes, I've watched it. I haven't got my parents to watch it.
Oh my God, really? What? Oh God! Oh my God! things like this give me joy. Like, tell me about it. Like, what were your parents' reaction to it?
They were excited. They were grateful to see their child on a screen. Well, maybe, well, this is not the first time, but I think, yeah. And hearing other people's stories, like my dad was like,
Okay.
he's sure that there's a yeah, promote and listen to.
Okay, so the reason why I want to ask is because I know that I'm going to ask you another question. The next question I want to ask you is coming from a place of
All right.
experience, right? Now,
Yeah.
one reason, one powerful reason why you think that people who have not watched the documentary should run to the YouTube channel right now and start watching that documentary. Let me start with you.
All right. Like I said, it's packed. Like listening to the other ladies and their story, and even the part of the collaborations, there were some names that were mentioned, and I was like, I think I need to go and check these people up. And even our ladies, like our 25 our weddings, the stories, how they got to where they are, and also the question of when you are speaking, I mean, what you would like to say to your 70-year-old self, like listen to whatever that person was saying. There's something for every lady, every guy out there that is young and needs stories that inspire, stories that will help them to become who they are and inspire them to get there. You need to see this video. In fact, I'll be
Yes.
sharing it everywhere. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. So she says you need, not a want. You need to see this
Yes, we
video.
need.
Okay. Okay. Let me hear from you, Abiola.
Okay. Yes, I think it was a blessing to me, to be very honest, because I didn't grow up with many people that were visionary like me as well. So getting to watch the documentary, my own shock even started from the folio itself, reading everybody's stories. And I was like, oh my god, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one. We're a
The
lot.
validation.
Yeah. So I would really encourage, people to watch it. Take notes. You might probably have to listen twice, because many of these people are actually in industries and have achieved certain heights that you would be shocked, that they've achieved by their age. I think it would be so inspiring for many people. I feel like personally, I want to share with my teenagers as well, because it would be such a solid affirmation for them that God can use you. Imagine someone at the age of 22 or 23 saying that they will do something for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Like, oh my days, consistency doesn't start when you're 25 or when you're 30. It starts now, right? So yes, definitely was.
Wow, like what I hear you say is that this is shattering, that documentary is completely shattering the whole concept of you are too young to do anything, right?
Yeah.
And you are even, oh no, please, basically go and watch the video. And she's giving you wisdom that you don't go and watch this video as if you're going to watch a movie. You carry your journal and a pen. That's what she said. You carry your journal and a pen, or maybe you need to watch it twice. Another pro tip is that you need to be able to translate the wisdom that you are hearing to your present, to what your life looks like right now, right? So thank you so much, Abiola. Let us hear from you, Esther. Why should anybody even watch the documentary?
Well, for me, I believe that for anyone out there, watching the documentary will actually inspire you first of all. Because when you hear stories from young people, when you hear like the things they are doing, things they've been able to accomplish, like first of all, it builds motivation in maybe, especially when you have ideas, when you have dreams in your head, things that you really want to do, or you've been feeling like, oh, maybe I'm too small for this, or maybe I can't achieve this now. Maybe when I get to a certain age. When you watch these amazing young women doing these things, it builds motivation within you. So you really need to watch the video because you will learn a lot. You learn from their challenges. You will learn from their life lessons. You will learn the things they were able to accomplish and how they were able to accomplish it. And also, like most of us said today, in your submitting yourself to mentors and all of this, a lot of these ladies have been able to, listen to people, submit themselves for accountability, mentors, role models, and like people in their space basically. So it will literally blow your mind. You will learn a lot out there. You will learn a lot, really. You really, really learn a lot. Yeah. So you need to go and watch.
She said you will learn a lot. That's what she said. You will learn a lot. To be able to, in 1 hour, compress the wisdom that many of them have been able to learn from the past few years, compress it together in 1 hour. No, of course you will learn a lot. All right. Thank you. Gloria, what would you say? Why should anybody watch this documentary?
All right. It's actually a challenging one on the video for me myself. And I believe it will challenge a lot of people out there. And that's the beauty about being in a community. Everyone cannot be equal. But when you see someone doing better than you, it's a call that you can. It is a signal that you can do it. So as long as you are seeing a lot of beautiful things out there, as long as you're capturing it, as long as from a place of love, not from a place of envy, you can. It's a call to get good.
Yeah.
And you know.
Okay. Okay. Doria, I hear you, right? And Modipe, you're going to speak next, but I want to expand what I hear Gloria speak about, right? She's saying that it is a call. This documentary is a call to come up higher. That's what she's saying. It's a call to come up higher. So for some people, while Abiola was speaking to how it's a validation for her, when she watched the video, she's like, okay. So she even said, it started from the folio, that the folio was, first of all, a sort of validation to her that she was not crazy, right? But even if she was crazy, it was a good kind of crazy. It was a kind of crazy that she was actually doing like good work, right? But I hear Gloria saying now that if you are not in the level, maybe you're watching the documentary and you're saying that I feel like these people are too, they've really done a lot, right? This documentary is going to be one that pulls you and says that, yeah, you actually need to come up higher, right? I love it. But what do you have to say in addition to what everybody has said?
A lot has been said. For me, what I would say is that this is for anyone who thinks that they are so far away, they're confused, and they don't have what it takes. I would say it starts from somewhere. It starts from that video. It starts from listening to people's stories. Because the thing about a story is that it has a beginning, has a middle, and it has the end, which is really another beginning. So you need to find out what is the story of the women that you're listening to. Where did they start from? Okay, I think that is what you need to encourage you, because you might think you don't have it, but you do have something. Find out that something. Okay, and you need to be intentional. What we're saying here isn't that you click on the link and you just listen intentionally. As we've said earlier, write down names. When they mention names, look them online, check LinkedIn, check Instagram. What are these people doing? How can you connect what you're doing? It's important to really just find out what you can do with the information you have. So yes, watch it.
She said yes, watch it, period. All right. Agnes, please let us hear you. Why do you think, I can see you are like, yes, period. Why do you think that people should go and watch? Just wrap up what everybody has said and give it to them, like they actually have to watch the documentary.
Okay, this is a call from me to watch this video because it's going to definitely inspire you. I think growing up was one of the things that really inspire me, seeing other people doing great things. And I would love to tell you not to watch this video with a wrong mind, don't go with a comparison mindset.
Okay. She was giving us the very wisdom that we needed as we are going to watch this video. right? The documentary. But I think that while we are closing up, I would say that this documentary, from what everybody has said, I love what Abiola said about how she's going to take that and even take that wisdom, take that video, and even use it as a prototype for her people, right? This video, this documentary is going to be one that we are going to hand down to people. So when anybody comes to meet you to ask you, I don't know my purpose, be like, have you watched the Leading Boldly documentary? When they say, I'm confused on what, have you watched the Leading Boldly documentary, right? Because it comes with a lot of answers, right? So yeah, thank you so much, ladies. We really had a great time today. I don't know about you, but I did enjoy having a conversation with you today. And we're going to wrap up and just close the curtains here by reminding people that they should go and watch the documentary. Go to our YouTube page. You'll find the documentary there, and just have a swell time enjoying the stories of young African women who are shaping society. But also, after you finish watching the documentary, the next thing that you need to do is to visit the folio that Abiola spoke about. You can get the link on our Instagram page, which is at futureforwardfemale_. The link to the folio is there, right? You can also visit our website, actually, it's very straightforward, www.futureforwardfemale.com, and get the link to the folio. We have the folio 1.0 and the folio 2.0. Both are free to download online, but if you want to get a physical, a hard copy of it, then you can place your order on the website as well, right? Then we also have the Future Forward Female Mastermind and every other resources that you can be able to access so that you can be this future forward female that we are talking about, right? Finally, I would like to wrap up with a statement that is very boldly written on our website, and it says that there is no better time than now for women to break barriers and lead boldly. It is on that note that we say good night and see you tomorrow, same time. Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.